If you've decided to move toward private pay and you're not sure what to do this week, the Quick Start Toolkit is built for exactly that moment. It walks you through week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. Niche statement, referral outreach, your 30-second intro, and a 30-day action plan. Read it in an hour, come back to it when you're stuck. $57 at privatepaypractitioners.com. Hey everyone, it is DJ Burr, founder of Private Pay Practitioners Premium podcast and the Facebook group. So I am back with another fabulous guest. I have Malia Scott here this morning. Hey.
Hi, DJ.
How's it going?
It's going.
Yay. So Malia is a licensed professional counselor, certified sex and couples therapist based out in Texas. And she is doing deeply specialized work in relationship and erotic recovery, which I'm curious to hear more about for sure. And, she is the founder of Rewilding Relationships. Am I saying that correctly? Yay. Okay. I'm hearing this term a lot, rewilding. So I would love to hear about that as well. So, Malia, welcome. Please tell us a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Sure. Let's see. Well, like you said, I'm an LPC and certified sex and couples therapist. I'm licensed in Texas and Colorado, so I see clients in both states. I'm primarily still about 90% online. So I really enjoy
Good.
the online arena, if you will.
Yeah.
So, let's start with your question, rewilding. Why don't we start there?
Yes. Let's start
I
there.
I feel like my entire life has been a bit of rewilding. I see rewilding as the term coming back to nature, coming back to the, coming back to your origin, coming back to your roots, coming back to what is natural to you now. And
Yes.
so I was on a camping trip in Big Bend. I'm a big off-road camper. And I saw the flowers blooming in the cactus, and I just had a moment where I was like, I love working in the realm of relationships and sex, and nature is where I find myself and come back to earth, if you will, in this wild ass world that we live in. So that's where rewilding relationships was born.
Oh, I love it. Yes, I love a good origin story. So, when did you start your practice?
Yeah, so I created my PLLC the day I graduated. So that was in 2021, and that was in the realm of COVID, and I had no idea what the hell was gonna happen with our world. So I created that PLLC the day I graduated. It was such a fun experience, and then, I've just been growing and building ever since.
Yeah, tell us
Started
about
right here
that.
in this, portal she shed.
I love that. I had one of those when I was in Washington after COVID.
Cool, nice.
Yes, and they're fabulous.
I had no idea
So
if we were gonna be in person, and I was like, "Well, this is a great little investment," and
right.
started that.
Yeah, I mean, gives your house an upgrade.
I mean,
Um, yeah, yeah, I loved mine. I miss it, but I have this space, so I love it too.
yeah, I love your
Um
too.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's very similar to yours. It has, like, that wood look in the back.
Yep, some
Um,
Douglas fir on the top and some shiplap in the back, and it's just very simple.
now did you now we gotta get into it. Did you did you buy it like that, or did you build it?
We built it out. My partner is a carpenter, and so it was a fun DIY project, especially during COVID, just to, create a space, just to create an online space. I put a lot of love and intention into it.
So sweet. It was a family affair. Alright. So, you started building your practice, and did you know when you started that you were gonna be private pay?
Yes, I did. So, my journey has been interesting. So I have been a business owner and an entrepreneur way before I became a therapist. And during grad school, I worked in community mental health, and that was an enlightening, incredible experience. Lots of just so much learning and immersion in that. And in that experience with community health, I switched over to a group practice. So I got a little taste of community mental health. I got a taste of a group practice. And, I was really just like immersing. All the whole entire time I knew I wanted to be private practice. Now, when you're in grad school, most people are juggling a million different things at once. At the same time, I was also a marketing and personal assistant to a therapist, and that owned a private practice, private paid practice. And so she taught me everything from the ground up just by working with and for her. So that solidified that I wanted to be private pay and have a private practice. So I knew the entire time I wanted to do it, but I wanted to get all that different experience and all those different environments.
Yeah, the experience is necessary, I think. Um, Now, we have a lot of folks who are coming right out of school and open up a practice, and I love that for them. My hope is that they're able to sustain, but I think having the community mental health experience for me was a game changer for sure because it definitely let me know I didn't want to be doing that. But I
No,
know
it's
how to do it.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I did it for a long time, so I get it. So you had a mentor during this process, which I wish everyone had.
Yeah.
And so she kind of showed you the ropes.
Yes. So I want to give out a shout out to Cindy Austin. She's an LPC in Austin, Texas. She has Austin Empowered. But yeah, I worked for her for quite an extensive period during grad school, and that that helped lay another layer of the foundation.
Now, at the time, did you know you were going to be doing sex work in terms of like working with sex and talking about sex and coupleships and all those kind of things?
Yeah, so I knew that in grad school. I started my sex therapy certification right in sync. I was like doing sexual health alliance at the time in grad school. I knew that because I had an awesome professor, Carlos Perez, shout out to him. Um, he we had a great talk, and he was like, "You just find something you wanna focus on where you're passionate about," and so I knew what that was, and so I just started it right in sync with grad school, and then I switched over to the ISHG program, but I've been doing that as long as I've been in grad school.
Beautiful, beautiful. So it's really great to hear that you came into this experience knowing exactly what you wanted to do. I wish a lot of us had that experience. And so, walk us through the journey of kind of building up your practice and the marketing piece, because talking about sex and marketing about sex can be challenging.
It can be, especially because you can't really say the word sex on social media.
I, that's what I'm talking about, right? You're like, I do sex therapy, but I can't say sex.
Yeah, it's real interesting. But,
Yeah. What has that been like for you?
um well, it's gone through its different evolutions for sure. Let's see. I mean, I feel like I kinda need to start with the why, like, the how.
Sure.
So before I was a therapist, I was a yoga teacher in Austin for a very long time. I also owned a yoga studio, and so I was teaching yoga teachers how to teach yoga. In that process, I realized that a bunch of stories and trauma lodged in bodies comes out in yoga. So that was my pivotal moment to switch to start to make the pivot and become a licensed mental health professional.
Yeah.
So in that, like I said, I talked to Dr. Carlos Perez, and I decided that I wanted to also do the couples and the relationship and sex therapy work. So in that, I would say it was very different marketing that approach because I started marketing from day one. I just, with all the ethical stipulations and requirements, I tried to follow that as best as possible. But it's gone through evolutions as
Yeah.
social media changes, as the landscape and the environment changes. You kind of just have to work with. with the rules if you wanna put yourself out there. So, there's different ways you can write the word, but, I mean, my my teachers' accounts have been shut down. So, it's just kind of it's literally a chess game.
It is, it is, yeah, trying to do Google Ads as a sex addiction therapist, it did not go well.
Yeah, yeah.
Google was like, "No, we can't do it."
Google is a challenging one to work with for sure. I'm
Mhm.
having a little bit more leniency in the social media realm, but it is what it is.
'Kay. What's the response been like?
Response for social media for
Yeah,
um well, I tailor so in marketing for relationship and sex therapy, I split it up into pillars. So there's a number of content, there's a number of content topics under the realm of relationships, relationship education, relationship therapy. And then the sex therapy, sex ed stuff. Um as far as I mean, the response has been good. The response is, interesting. There's so many different presentations for both things, relationship and sex therapy.
yeah,
So, I've just kind of pulled back into myself and figured out what areas, what focuses, I like to work with,
okay.
and then
Well, that's helpful.
speak to that. Like, my social media strategy is just try to be real and put out real truth. Not necessarily things people wanna hear, but, being a business owner for multiple years, I'm just kinda like a tell it like it is kinda.
Listen, I think that's why we connect, because I'm very much the same, and I love your social media presence. You just keep it real, and I think the people who are respond to that are your ideal people, and the people who don't, oh well.
Yeah,
Um, we
yeah,
can't see everybody.
yeah, yeah. It was interesting, I've learned a lot of things along the way, as far as, like, you know, personal development, personality, lots of different things. When I learned human design at one point, like 5 years ago-ish, and I learned that I was a reflector. So being a reflector, you have to just there's a lot of teaching. I feel like I'm as much as a teacher as I'm a therapist or a business owner,
Yeah,
but, if you as a reflector, if you put it out there, it reflects back to you. So, when I focus on what I like to teach about and what I'm passionate about, because I don't wanna burn out, I put that out there into the world, and whoever seems to show up, that's who shows up.
yeah, those are the people. Right, those are the people that can access, services if they're in your area. Now, I know that you're licensed in Texas and Colorado. Where are you finding the most traction in terms of clients that are coming in your practice?
Yeah, I'm physically based in Lubbock, Texas. I lived in Austin for 24 years, so I'm very networked in the Austin area. But because of the opportunity to do virtual, I see a lot of Austin, Houston, Dallas clients. I see rural areas in the West Texas area. And then I mean, my in-person private practice has definitely built over the years. Um, so and then as far as Colorado goes, Denver, Colorado Springs, Grand Junction, some of the smaller mountain towns. I was doing Google targeted ads for a long time, and then I decided to switch over to social media. So I experiment a lot with lots of different things just to see what works. I feel like that's what entrepreneurship is all about.
It is. I've done many things that did not work.
Yeah.
One of the things that has worked well for me is networking, and I think that allows me to connect, build relationships, those kinds of things. How are you finding networking in both states?
Yeah. Networking is interesting. There's the online networking and then there's in person. So, I watched a podcast last night about, it was on the School of Mentors, and he was interviewing, one of the wealthiest men in Africa, and he was talking about think global, act local, and so I apply that to my strategy overall. Like, locally, I focus on networking with other therapists. I am a member at large for the West Texas Counseling Association. So that's been a great opportunity to network with other therapists. And with
Yeah.
the specialized work that I do, I network with urologists and OB-GYNs and also attorneys. I do a lot of pre-divorce, divorce, post-divorce, and co-parenting work as well. So those are the people and the professions that I network with locally. Now then I apply that regionally to different regions in Denver, different regions in Colorado Springs, different regions in Austin, and all the other larger cities in Texas. So start local, go regional, and then I mean,
Global.
yeah.
You're a global superstar.
So, I mean, you can apply that locally, regionally, statewide, nationwide, and then on the global perspective. Because I love what I do, but I am also on a pivot to, I'm on track to do sex therapy supervision, and you can do nationally and globally. Because I don't know, my wiring is not wired to just a single state, or I don't like to be put in a box.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of regulations and limitations as there should be in our profession, and I want to break out of the state boxes.
I mean, I'm very much similar, and I think that's why I have this, platform that I've
Yeah, it's
created.
fantastic, and thank you for
Right.
creating it. It's so needed.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. There's people from other countries in our group, and I'm just like, what are y'all doing? And they're like, well, there's a lot of them are expat,
Yeah,
therapists.
yeah,
Right. And so, like, I'm glad that I can reach them.
totally.
And it's amazing to see. So, like, I really like this idea of kind of, the locally, regionally, and then like globally. It
Mhm.
makes sense
Yeah,
if that is what your passion is. You have to be passionate about it. I sit with so many people who are just like they think that they have to do something and they don't want to do it. So then it doesn't work. And then
yeah,
they're like, well, I must be a bad therapist or a bad marketer or a bad networker. And I'm just like, but you're doing stuff you don't want to do.
right. Yeah,
That
I have to have the energy and the fuel to keep it going, so I definitely work energetically, if you will.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, for sure.
And
Now
to
I know.
one of
Oh,
your points too, I wanted to say another thing in doing my sex therapy training, the one with Integrative Sex Therapy Institute specifically, there's people from all over the world in all of our cohorts and all of our classes, and that lights me up. I love learning from other cultures, other regions, subregions, like that. That is another thing that lights me up. Especially, I live in West Texas. I mean,
yes, you need more culture. So yes, so you're bringing it in, which is really good, right? So one of the other things about your practice is that you offer intensives.
yeah.
And so that allows you to reach people too, and then do like this targeted work over a period of time. And you do 1 day and 3 day intensives.
I'll do half day, 1 day, 2 day, and 3 day. And
Okay, tell us.
that will eventually turn back into retreat. So, I'm actually doing a Joseph Campbell full circle of the hero's journey in a way because, I started with, teaching yoga, teaching yoga teachers how to teach yoga. I came up with a 200 and 300-hour curriculum to teach that through Yoga Alliance. So, doing a 1, 2, or 3-day intensive, isn't anything near that, but it's still the depth work, and that's where my heart is. And it's challenging navigating depth work in a surface level world. And so I want to see if there is a space in that. So that's the kind of pivot point. I'm still gonna do, like, one-on-one sessions with individuals and couples, but I really wanna shift to more depth work.
That. Yeah. You're so passionate about what you do. How do you keep it all together? Like, how do you like that energy, that passion, that fire that you have for this work? Where does it come from?
Um, I would say, and I learned this from Cindy, when she was my mentor, just mastering self-care. Like practicing what I preach when I ask my clients how's their sleep, how's their hydration, how's their nutrition, how is their exercise and movement, how's your decompression. I have a in managing the lovely ADHD crazy creative brain that I have to have routines. I wake up, I go walk, I exercise, I lift weights, then I get into it. So like I have to have regimented routines that keep me grounded. So I preach nervous system all the time and all my work, even it's just like all the time, really. And so taking care of that nervous system to work with other nervous systems is imperative for this work.
Yes, I for all of us, I think that's really important for the audience to hear and to let sink in. Otherwise, you're prone to burnout.
Totally,
Um,
and I'm, like, right on the 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 journey of perimenopause is here. I quit
okay.
drinking a year and a half ago, so I have an
Oh,
alcohol-free life, and I feel like prioritizing sleep and exercise and getting outside, that that's where, that's where the energy comes from.
that's amazing. That's so good. You
It's so
know,
but it's not, like, as I'm not married to it as, like I used to be.
yeah, yeah, but that's okay. Um, so in your practice, you're seeing a lot of folks, right? So you not only see couples, but you see families. Are you still seeing teens?
So I don't see a lot of teens. That's the smallest population. But I work with individuals, couples. I work with all different relational dynamics. I see open, I see poly, consensual non-monogamy. I've seen thruples. I've seen adult families, a lot of like parents and children in the realm of relational work. And then also like helping parents talk to their teens about sex,
Important.
helping work through those stories and that messaging and conditioning around that. So individuals, couples, thruples, some teens, I really don't do a lot of teens because I deal with the parents. That's just my style.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Uh,
But also adult content creators, right?
But yeah, I've worked with so when I was in grad school and I was working with the group practice, I started working with clients through Pineapple Support, and their largest sponsor for providing free therapy to sex workers is Pornhub. So that has been a very interesting experience working with that population. I have learned so much.
Yeah. I didn't know about this the the connection with the Pornhub. That's interesting.
And and on the other side, I see a lot of out of control sexual behavior. So it really has been I've had the opportunity to work with like the full spectrum.
That's
And
good.
yeah.
Yeah, so you have seen and witnessed a lot of different experiences, and I think that informs the work that you show up and do with everyone, right? That's why we do it, and I think we're able to do it more, in just my opinion, folks, as private pay practitioners, because we're not worried about the clawback. We're not worried about, like, all kinds of this foolishness of shutting down and changing rates and all kinds of stuff that they're going through right now.
Yeah, it is a very interesting and wild time to be a therapist in the world.
Yes, for sure. So when you see some of the things that, let's say, insurance-based practitioners are experiencing, what comes up for you? Like, how does that impact you when you witness it?
The way I perceive it is a system. In my opinion, it's a broken system. And what I see is insurance dictates how some therapists can run their business through the fee that they reimburse therapists, right? And the therapist just has to take it. Like, it's very hard to get, reimbursement raised, or it's challenging to do that, and what we're seeing with some of these insurance companies is they're actually reducing the fee. And I don't think that's fair, and I have never been a person to really fit inside a box, and it makes me sad and mad, and it makes me feel a lot of feelings, um,
Yeah.
for our profession because in my graduate program, there was no talk about business structure, and more than likely, you're gonna need to take insurance. There was none of that education,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I feel like it's kinda like insurance is kinda like you for a lot of people, it's just go with the flow. You just do what everybody else is doing, and I just that did not feel good in this nervous system, and
No.
then, you start to do your CEUs. For me, it was more like very specialized con continuing ed and advanced training, and I was just like, "These numbers are not numbering." Like, there there is this much that has to go into this investment for this education or this certification, and at the end of the day, it's the same pay. We've got inflation over here, expenses are increasing, same pay, same pay. It just does not add up to me.
It does not add up. Is never going to add up. Is never going to add up. Yeah. In the broken system that you're describing, it is never going to add up. And I think we have some folks in our profession who keep trying to make it add up. I'm trying to reach them, you know, and I would love to reach them at the education, like when they're in school. And I'll tell you this, I reached out to hundreds of institutions that offer counseling training and about offering my services for free to come and chat about private pay and things of that nature to give folks a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
Crickets,
Wow.
crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's disturbing and
Yeah.
distressing,
Yeah.
when I see people who are, like, panicking, and we're hearing stories about entire practices being shut down, people filing for bankruptcy, and the thing that is happening right now that nobody is talking about is that some of these systems are offering loans. So it's
Interesting.
like like when that whole was it Change Health? I don't. You probably don't even know about it, but the Change Health system where they got hijacked and they had to pay ransom or whatever,
Oh,
they
yeah.
were in turn offering loans to providers, you know, while they were trying to figure out how to pay this ransom. Are you? It did make
There's
sense.
I mean, it doesn't matter what industry, there's just, like, fishy
It's
stuff.
so fishy, and I got so upset about some other system. Was it Simple? I can't remember. I won't say it out loud if I don't know for sure. But one of these systems was like, "Hey, you can get a loan now." Because I got trapped by that. I
Oh,
got
okay.
trapped when I was insurance and insurance was clawing back. There was an organization that would they look at your revenue and all that kind of stuff and they give you some loan monies because they know the money periodically comes in from the insurance company.
Yeah.
But you had to pay I had to pay it back every day.
Oh, interest
And I'm trying to keep our practice alive, and I had staff, and I was trying to, like, make sure I kept my staff, but I had to pay a loan back every day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I see it, and I just, like, wanna, like, scream and yell and, like, wave
Yeah,
the flag. So
yeah.
so I started a podcast, and I could talk about it.
There you go.
And I listen, I told somebody, "I'm just waiting for the cease and desist to come.
Oh my goodness. How long ago
Bring
was
it." With my experience,
yeah, when was
p like a decade ago,
okay, got it.
and it's getting worse.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
getting worse. There's a whole story around it I'll tell you later, but, it's just sad. I see it every day as the moderator of the Private Pay Practitioners Facebook page,
yeah,
all of the pages, and I just wanna, like, wrap a hug around these folks.
for sure. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it is it's really challenging to navigate all the different intricacies that there are.
Yeah.
And at the same time, because there is the ability to be online, you can start a virtual private practice with very little startup.
You can.
You can.
You can. You absolutely can, and I try to support people in doing that, but they have to be. You gotta be strategic, folks. You
We
gotta be invested in doing the work beyond the clinical work, right? You are a business owner, in my opinion. When you sign that dotted line, you get that business license. You're a business owner first.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
gotta have the structure in place.
yeah.
And what I like about you is, like, you came in as an entrepreneur having built businesses already, which is nice. So, one of the things that I'm curious about is, like, how is this business different starting and building it versus the yoga studio?
Um, well, there's different limitations on marketing for sure.
That's one.
Um, there's the differences Differences in marketing, different ethical guidelines. I feel like our profession has been so hush hush and secret, and then, in the taboo realm for so long, and it's still kind of operating in this like dinosaur realm where it's like people are starting to realize how they can kind of navigate around the rules and the guidelines, still sticking to them, but even advertising yourself as a therapist on social media at one point was like very, it almost seemed like taboo in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it still is. I think people are like, "Why are therapists on social media?"
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed
Kind
to
of.
put, like, client testimonials out there unless they give them to you. I mean, it's like Google reviews still isn't. I mean, it's weird. Doctors can have them, but and I know we're not
But
doctors, or I'm not a doctor.
right, but right. If I can leave one for my dentist, why can't I leave one for my therapist?
Right,
Or why can't I say, "Therapist, you can use mine,"
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Well, it all depends. Some licenses say you can't ask, and some will say you can't use, period, right? But then you're on Google and they can say whatever they want to say. I've had people say stuff that hadn't even seen me.
yeah, yeah. It's a different I look at it as it's a different set of hoops to jump.
Yeah, yeah. So those are one of the biggest differences. It's a
Yeah,
different set of hoops. It
yeah.
truly, truly is. So, what would you say to a new private pay practitioner coming up behind us? What is maybe one or two things you think that they need to really invest in as they're
Being a good
building the business?
uh, uh, alongside, starting and growing the business is investing in becoming a good therapist. Like, I would say word of mouth is still one of the greatest referral resources, and when you do good work, that gets around.
Fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do good work.
Yeah.
Do good work.
Yeah. Do good work and
Mhm.
have good boundaries.
Yes, good boundaries and take care of yourself so you can show up fully for your client.
Absolutely. Wow. So, Malia, what's coming up next for you?
Let's see. Well, I also own a completely separate business outside of therapy. I own coyote pools, stock tank pools, so we're really busy. Our summers are really busy for us. So that's therapy kind of dips in the summer. The stock tank pools go up, but I'm looking forward to this fall, and I'm pivoting to some more depth work. So I'm doing a free webinar for therapists. It's called Rewilding Your Practice, the Decision to Leave Insurance. So it is focused on the decision making because that decision can be really hard to make. So I'm doing a free webinar on August 27th from noon to 1 Central Standard Time. And then this fall, September 10th through October 29th, we're doing an 8-week deep dive. So we'll meet 2 hours every week, and we're gonna go into the depths of the decision-making process. And because people come at it from they're coming from all different places, and, some wanna start private pay, some wanna do insurance and private pay, some just are coming off full panels. So it's really an intensive cohort to dive into what it requires to make the decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not an
Yeah.
over I mean, to me, it's not an overnight decision. And there's there's physical, emotional, and nervous system work around all of that.
Right. Absolutely. For me, when I think of it as a decision I get to make every day.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And it sounds like we were doing similar work in our around our coaching and helping people navigate the decision making process, which I love. So like, yeah, folks, go to Malia's site and get this information. Malia, what's her site?
It's www.rewildingrelationships.com, and at the top, I have a section for therapy.
Awesome. And where can they find you on social media?
So my practice page is uh, doo-doo, at Rewilding Relationships. For therapists, it's at Rewilding Your Practice.
Rewilding your practice. I love that. Malia, thank you so much for coming on the show. It has been a pleasure. And folks, if you can't see her, she's wearing green. So
It's a green day.
it's a green day. She already knew. That's what we do over here.
Yeah, green is
Yay.
the money
Yeah.
color too. You know that, right?
It's a what?
Green is the money color too.
Oh, absolutely. Let's make that money, okay? Malia, thank you so much for being on the show. Please come back anytime.
Such a pleasure. And thank you again for creating this platform for so many private practitioners in the country. It's needed, and I appreciate it daily. So
You're,
appreciate you.
you're so welcome. All right, folks, I have been DJ Burr, founder of Private Pay Practitioners, and this has been the Private Pay Practitioners Premium Podcast. Make sure you guys come back next week. I'll have another fabulous guest. Some practices need more than a strategy call. They need a full day. The full day intensive is a 5 to 6 hours on Zoom covering your niche, messaging, marketing, rates, referrals, and a complete 90-day plan. You submit through intake before we meet. I come in early knowing where to focus. You leave with a full strategy built specifically for your practice. $2,500 at privatepaypractitioners.com.